Last time on Almost Heroes.
Session 9, Breaking Point. We came in media res. Rangrim had recently got the mark that Cosmo had painted on his mom's house on his hand. After getting out of the mines, the group had a conversation about this, but not before Glenn met with Jorro and the refugees, and he made a promise to them to help them get out of the mines because they're stuck there. The gates have some sort of magic that don't allow them to get through. We learned that the Boulders Mining Company controls the magic, and the group left. We had a lot of conversation about Rangrim, went over his past. We talked a little bit about the symbol. Cosmo basically just judge dreaded the shit out of Bongrin, and I'm pretty sure he was pissing in his pants. I think he was, at least, because Cosmo was coming in hot. The last note I have on this page is just as Pops is rad.
I think the only thing we missed is as we were heading back to the house, there's a bunch of guards.
Correct. That's where we left our session.
Off the wall. Seems like a real good oversight on our part.
Yes, yeah, the bloody hand symbol of the upside down hand with the eye was left on that building, or on, I guess, on Cosmo's home, and it's now morning. Well, it's afternoon because of having to sleep, so it's essentially around just afternoon, and you all are making your way back to Cosmo's house, and found that there were at least 4 guards standing around. They seem to be talking to people, and we're talking to Cosmo's mother as well. And so that's where we'll pick up. You guys are out of range at this time.
Out of what
they
range?
Don't see you yet, but
about how far away are we?
I'll say that you're probably, since you're having to come up these tiers of the city to get to this point, I'll say that you're probably just having kind of walking up this tier, so maybe 40 feet away or something like that, 30 to 40 feet, and you're just kind of seeing over the edge of this as you're coming up these stairs that this is going on at the house. And
Okay.
so
and it looks to be the actual guards, or it looks to be like the militia group that we saw, because there's like the people that we turned the bounty into. That's not the Boulder Fist Mine Company, right? That's like the Imperial Guards.
Yeah, if you want to do a perception check for me.
I will perceive. Not great. 11. They're wearing clothes.
I'll say that you can tell by the color of their garb that they are Imperial Guards.
Okay. So as we're kind of walking up, and I look over to Cosmo and said, Cosmo, looks like we have a little more guests than we expected. I hope your mom's made a lot of that squirrel stew you keep talking about.
I suspect that we'll be able to feed the whole crowd.
And as we get closer, fellas, how you guys doing?
Hey, mommy.
Yeah, so you can see that there are 2 guards kind of inspecting, and one of them seems to be almost like drawing out what this symbol looks like in some sort of notebook. And then there's another guard that seems to be kind of stopping people in the street and asking questions from people that are have kind of stopped and are looking at it. There's probably like 2 to 3 just people that live around the area or happen to be passing by that he's talking to them. And then the person who's actually talking to your mom, they seem to be wearing a little bit different garb. They have like kind of long, dark hair that is streaked with gray. They are wearing kind of they're wearing plate mail, and they have like a long like shoulder cloak that's thrown over their shoulder, that's going pretty far down to the ground, and it's like a deep maroon, and you can tell that like this garb is someone who is not just like a normal essentially a soldier. This is someone of a higher rank, and as you walk up,
is he human or elf?
So as they turn towards you, you can see that they're actually they seem to be half orc. in like they have the green skin, but they are like of a leaner build than Madge is, for example. She's full orc and is much beefier. So they turn to you and excuse me, madam. Let me. Seems like, is this your son? And he turns towards you and kind of walks towards you a little bit. And he's actually. I was hoping to speak with you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Constable Hunter. And yeah, so that's named. Yeah, this NPC is named after at Hunter on Twitter, and also who is in the chat often. So,
I attack. I draw my.
Thank you, Chav. That's awesome.
Welcome, Tigress.
Chav, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And I stick out a hand to shake their arm.
It's a guy. But yeah, they
arm.
Yeah, they reach their hand out and shake your hand as well.
I kind of look past it. So he steps in front, out away from my mom?
Yeah, they were just talking to your mother, so they were standing in front, and you guys were walking up kind of from the side. So essentially, he didn't walk between you and your mother. He just kind of walked towards you, and just seemed like he'd been talking to her.
Okay. I just kind of want to glance over. I don't know if it would be like looking around him or just looking over at my mom, and just to kind of get an idea of like what her body language or facial expression is like as to how she's feeling.
So she seems concerned for sure, especially because now it seems like Chav is wanting to talk to you. And it seems like she's confused. She doesn't know, like you're reading in her expression is confusion because she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know why this is happening.
Okay. So I just kind of turn and I just, hey, mom, what's going on?
Honey, do you know anything about this symbol that's on the side of our house?
Nope. I just seen it right now. It's a really weird looking hand. What do you think it is there, Chev?
That's actually a good question. So it seems to me that these symbols have been popping up all over town. I've actually been sent here by the Empire to do a little bit of investigating and figure out what's going on. I've been told that you seem to be the three of you. Actually, it's interesting. You're all here together. It's great. And you actually see he kind of like mentions or like whistles and to the person who was drawing the hand. And do you mind taking some notes? Thank you. Seems like you all have been actively helping whenever these things have been popping up. Seems like you've just been around a lot, and I would just love to have a conversation with you all about this.
Right. Well, you see, I and me friends, Ren Grim and Ben over here, is we was working with.
You got that?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I think he did. I did. It's with a K. It's with a K.
He crosses it out and writes it again.
Oh, thank you. And me and my friends, we've been helping Luthor, and
was that Luthor with an F or?
Well, I'm not really sure.
I think it's 2 L's, isn't it?
It might be.
Luthor.
I
might be.
Luthor.
It's still Uri. I'm still trying to find my voice. I think.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
And I'm not really sure why this will be here. We was out, over at the Iron Woman. Struggling here.
Cosmo's never been here before.
He's gonna roll. He's definitely gonna roll an insight on you. So I need you to roll deception.
I wasn't lying.
You were lying.
No,
You said you don't know why it's up, how it got there. 100%.
Yeah.
That is also not a lie. I don't know how it got up there.
Okay. All right. Well, he's gonna try to read in.
He was asleep. That wasn't a lie.
All right. He only rolled an
Good,
8 for
actually.
he only rolled an 8 for insight. So I'm gonna say that he is gonna buy that because you are selling him a crock of shit, but that crock of shit is partially honest.
Maybe I suspect that it was my blood.
Denial.
I mean, Rangrim tasted it.
Well,
Only Rangrim.
okay. I don't know if it
Only
was.
Rangrim does.
I don't know if I did it or if they just used my blood.
CC Sweet has it. It's lie by omission. That's exactly what it is.
Okay, sure, whatever. I'll go with it. And regardless, apparently, he seems to be interested. It seems to have worked.
You're a charismatic young man.
I am. And so right. And so I was just okay, right. So the conversation. So I don't know how that got there. We was over at Luthor's and we've been out all day. I mean, yeah, we like to help Mr. Boulderfist and protect the city of Tin Town. That's my town. And it's me fellas towns, and we use our powers to protect the good people of Tin Town.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. I do have one more question for you though, and he reaches into his bag and or actually kind of like behind his back, and he's got like a pouch. It seems like it's a pretty small pouch, but he reaches into it, and he actually pulls out that carapace from the hookor that you left laying on the ground, and he shows it to you and goes, "Now, do you know anything about this?"
Did you fact check that? I feel like we picked it up.
Did you pick it up? I don't think you did.
I did not.
I don't think we did. I vaguely remember throwing it at one of you, but I don't think we picked it up.
Just asking. I'll roll with it. But
yeah. If you can find me some audio that says you picked it up off the ground, then yeah.
No.
He does edit the videos.
I'm just saying. Did he? I'm just asking.
So Glenn kind of steps in. Glenn goes, "Chav, is it Mr. Hunter or is it all one name? How does that work?"
Constable is my title. Chav Hunter is my name. You can call me Constable Hunter. You can call me. Actually, let's go with that. You can call me Constable Hunter at this time.
Mr. Constable, we don't really understand where you got that hunk of flesh from. We've seen chunks like that. We've actually carved a couple out of the beasts. I'm not sure if you saw what was most recently dug up in right after Wall 2, but there's actually a good amount of creatures coming up with that type of marking. Do you have any idea what might be tied to it? I mean, that just looks like any old bit of flesh with a nice little drawing. And as I do that, I cast Minor Illusion on Rangrim's hand and cover the icon on his hand.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Roll me a sleight of hand.
That's fair. 25.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because it does have, I believe it has some sort of visual hand movements you have to do to actually cast the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does.
Or is it
somatic component?
What is somatic?
Yeah.
Is that
somatic is hand gestures?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're able to pull that off. And how do you just make it look like?
It just looks like it's a regular hand.
Okay.
It looks like a smith glove, like a heavy leather smithing glove.
Cool.
So Mr. Constable, do you recognize this logo? We've been trying to track down what keeps bringing its way back up, and now it looks like maybe there's some local kids who are maybe taking on this persona and starting to graffiti these good people's homes. I mean, what do you have in mind?
Well, I have my suspicions, but for the time being, I don't know. I just recently got into town, haven't been here more than 6 hours at this point, but don't you worry. I'm going to be setting up shop here, and I'll be around. So I am always here if you happen to remember anything else, or if you want to pass any other ideas by me, I'm always happy to chat. You can
That's
find
fantastic.
me.
Where are
You
you
can
staying?
find me over at the Imperial Barracks for the time being. If it turns into a more extended stay, I might end up trying to rent a home here of some sort.
Can I provide some, let's call it some 2 cents, maybe a little bit of recommendation. The people here and most people everywhere don't necessarily trust the Imperial Guard too much. If you want to kind of be an open door policy, you might want to find yourself in a more frequented location. I'd recommend the Matic. It's where we like to hang out and grab drinks every once in a while. Tom, real big motherfucker, but very friendly. Makes one hell of a flaming lips. I think he also makes some weird dwarven gruel. The boys will be able to tell you about that one.
It's a great dwarven gruel.
So if we'd love to catch you around there and maybe get you a drink, but I mean, right now it just looks like you guys might be spending a little too much time bothering Cosmo's mother. We just like to get her inside and maybe get some rest. It's been a long day.
I had no intention of. I apologize. I apologize, Miss Stoneheart. If you are more than free to go, I hope that I didn't inconvenience you in any way. I appreciate the recommendation. I always enjoy getting to know the local establishments and local towns that I find myself in. So I do a lot of traveling, and I understand. Seems like you all have other things to do, so I'm sure I'll be seeing you around.
Very nice meeting you, Mr. Constable.
Yes, sir.
I stick out a hand to shake his hand again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah. So he kind of packs up, and the retinue of soldiers go along with them, kind of like a loose formation, kind of around the back of him. But they just kind of seem to head up. And as you can see him talking, and then one of them kind of points, and they seems like they're pointing up towards the Matic, showing him where it's at. And he actually kind of heads off that way.
I guess this might have been more of an inside check at the time, but did he seem genuine in more curiosity, or did he seem like he was accusing us?
Roll an insight. It's totally fine.
Do
I
it.
don't think I'm good at this.
Do it.
I do not. Nope. That is a 5.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't really give you anything for a 5. I think that.
Fair. He said some words to me.
He seemed curious, but you can't tell whether there's anything other than that.
Gotcha.
Damn it! I should have done it. Well then,
I mean, you're all 3 individual people. You can roll separately if you'd like to.
Well, Rangrim would have paid more attention to the insight check, but he's very confused of the glove on his hand right now. And how it got there. So this whole conversation's happening, and he's kind of like,
well, come on.
He can't.
As Glenn doesn't even look. He just hears the whooshing of a hand, and he just kind of snaps, and it's gone.
How did they do that?
Sure, I'll roll an insight check for this guy.
Okay.
Do I have any pluses for insight? Let's see. Ooh, I do. It does. It's an 18.
I think Rangrim has the best insight of all of you.
It's an 8. Sure. It's an 18.
Okay. They seemed suspicious of you all. It seems like, along with your kind of newfound kind of pseudo fame in town, word of you all being around whenever shit goes down has gotten to them, and they are suspicious of that. But they also just seem genuinely curious about this. It seems like they don't seem malicious in any way, shape, or form. Their courtesies seem genuine.
Right.
Cool. Look over to, what is Cosmo's mom's name? I feel like I should know that living in her home.
Her name is Amy.
Amy.
That's right.
Amy, why don't we get you inside? I'll see if I can't start cleaning up this wall. Those damn kids down the street, man, they must have been graffitiing again. And I kind of look at Cosmo and kind of give him the head nod, go ahead and take her inside. I'll start cleaning this up.
Yes, let's go, Mom. I'm really ready for some lunch.
Is everything okay? I don't want you getting into trouble.
No, Mom. We're not gonna get into any trouble. He's just trying to keep Tin Town safe. And
as I'm like watching the wall, I'm like, I mean, we did just kill a giant beast.
well, we don't know where this thing came from, and we're just gonna try and figure it out. And I'll be safe, Mom. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Just such a good boy. And she like pats your face.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Oh, right. Yep. Nothing.
I would not leave the wall until it's cleaned.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say that like you probably need something to like bucket, soap, something of some sort. So I'm sure that Cosmo has some inside, and together you're able to get it cleaned. It's dry blood, but it's on stone, so it comes off, and within a pretty short period of time you're able to clean the wall.
Okay. And then with Rangrim kind of off to the side, I guess, he was watching me clean because he just recognized his hand is no longer wearing a glove. I looked to him and say, hey, Rangrim, you feel like maybe making a stop over at Madge's with me? I need to go pick up some equipment, and I don't want to go in there alone. Last time we talked, she was a little bit upset about my, comp assault. So
I know, she's hilarious.
It's one way to say terrifying.
Yeah, it is. All right.
And I don't know if we need to necessarily RP all this, but I go to Madge's to pick up all the armor and weapons that I asked her to clean up for me.
Yeah, so you go over there, and it seems like Madge brought that keg back to the house after a while, after you guys didn't come back. And because you guys slept actually at Cosmo's, I believe. So you guys, Rangrim never even went home. But it seems like she brought that keg back to the house, that little mini keg that you left her, and kind of like worked through the night, or worked through the early morning since she'd been woken up. And she's actually like passed out, I think probably in one of the back rooms. But you can hear like pretty loud rolling snores coming from in there, and but all of the weapons and armor, which was not actually a ton, I don't believe. I think it was like 2 full sets of soldier armor and weaponry, and like maybe like enough weapons for like 4 people, but I think the armor together was only enough for like 2 to fully armor out 2 people.
Yeah, it was 3 sets of armor,
okay,
4 spears and 3 swords. So like 3 full suits and then 4 spears.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're able. It's all neatly kind of laid out on a kind of like a canvas cloth that is just kind of sitting there over by the forge, neatly laid out, all cleaned and sharpened.
Did I give her gold before this? I can't remember if I gave her gold at the bar.
Yes, you did. You gave her 15 gold. You were originally going to give her 12 gold, and then you insulted her, and then she
didn't like that. She tried to kill me. So
yeah, so then you gave him 15 gold.
Looked at Rangrim and go, "Wow, Rangrim, you're the owner of this location. She really knows what she's doing. Have you been learning from her? Or is this you teaching her? She teaching you? How's this relationship working out?"
Madge is awesome. One of the best smiths I've ever worked with. But we should have this conversation further outside. Best not to wake her when she's been drinking. You think I'm grouchy? Shit.
That is, say less. And I take a tarp and as quietly as possible, kind of like fold all the gear up into it, but bundle it as tight as possible to make it look not like a bunch of spears and armor. Like I try to
you're able to roll it up into like
a tent.
Yeah, you're able to roll it up into kind of like a square parcel of all this stuff.
I put another 5 gold on the counter. I throw it over my shoulder and said, Rangrim, thank you for the escort. I think we need to go check in with our buddy Cosmo, make sure Amy's not too broken up about what just happened.
Agreed. And Rangrim would take the small little satchel of his like personal belongings that he normally leaves at the forge and takes it with him. Just like a small little thing that he just puts on his belt.
As we're walking over, Glenn looks Rangram and says, "Hey, I really appreciate the work you did on my weapon here. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the other blade. It's looking a little bare. Think you find some time, might be able to get some work done on it."
Of course. That's what I do. That's what I like to do. Aside from drinking and sleeping and yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, man of many talents. I've always said that, Rangram.
At some point.
We'll find some time.
Eventually.
I'll hold you to it, and open Cosmo's door, or the door to Cosmo's home. Cosmo, we're back.
Oh, that's perfect timing. Mom's just made lunch if you're hungry.
Do I want to ask what it is?
It's delicious dwarven food.
I will see you guys at the Matic.
Well, if Rangram, if you're not gonna have any, I'll just finish me plate and we'll just carry on.
Dwarven food up here is a lot better than the dwarven food was down there.
Right, then come on in.
I'm sure this one doesn't glow in the dark, does it?
No, never. Right.
I'm picturing like the mushrooms, like the glowing mushrooms.
Oh
like
my gosh.
That's what it,
yeah, like a glowing, like an luminescent mushroom risotto or
Just
something.
like floating.
It's like a portobello burger that just glows in the dark.
That sounds great, actually. Although the
Kinda does.
aftermath of that in the bathroom, probably not the best, to be quite honest.
It'd be like a, never mind.
Eating a glow stick.
Knowing how long eating normally takes, I would I have time to make it down to the mines? I don't know how long that like travel time takes.
Well, hold on. We was gonna come with you, mate.
If you're trying to sneak down there and you want to do it, I story-wise, I have something I want to do anyway, so we can do a kind of picture-in-picture thing with two different groups, unless Cosmo and Rangram really do want to go, and it's gonna be a short thing. But I do have something I do want to do with them as well. So it's up to
I can wait.
Okay, so are you going to the Matic then, or are you hanging out at the house?
I'll just sit like out by the front door. Like I'll sit like I'll basically lean up against like the outside of the house, but like just outside the front door.
Okay.
I imagine dwarven food makes my stomach turn.
Yeah. So the smell of like the lizard stew is just getting to you. So you're sitting out there and you see coming up the stairs towards you, you see Brongrin Boulderfist with two other with a dwarf and a human that are flanking him. Two of the Brongrin Boulder or the Boulderfist militia with them.
The two that are flanking him, are they dwarves? Are they humans? What are they look like?
One's dwarven and the other one is human.
Okay. As Brongrim gets close, I actually he's never met me, so I Grim was like, "Hello, how you doing?"
It's a fine enough day. Are the Stonehearts in there?
Can I ask who's asking? I don't think we've met.
He reaches out his left hand to you because he doesn't have a right hand, and or a right arm in general. It's completely cut off at the shoulder. Brungrin Boulderfist. It's well, I don't know if it's a pleasure yet. I don't know you well, but it's nice to meet you.
I reach out my hand and say, nice to meet you. I'm Bareth.
Bareth, is that a family name? I don't know many elves with names that don't have 14 syllables in them.
That's crazy offensive. Thank you. And Glenn just kind of like leans back. I believe Cosmo's in there, but he's taking care of his mother right now. Maybe I can go grab him for you. He's kind of hired me to keep an eye out, take care of the local situation here. You mind waiting here for a minute?
It's no problem. I don't like how we had a little bit of a misunderstanding before, and I've kind of wanted to have a little bit of a wee conversation with him.
Man, just based off the conversation we have, I do not know how there could be a misunderstanding. Give me just 1 minute. And I open the door, and I go inside and I close the door and lean up against it. I say quiet, I'm like, "Hey, Cosmo, I'm pretty sure that dude that you got in a fight with earlier wants to talk to you, and he brought friends."
Right. Oh, that sounds like time. I reckon, Rangrim, maybe you should stay here this time.
Here.
Yep, just finish your food. I'll be right back. I'll just if I holler, you can all come running.
Okay, all right. I'll have another plate as the door closes. You hear Rangrim's like, "Your beard is lovely."
Well, she does condition.
Wait, Cosmo, you want me to step out with you, or you got this one?
Well, I think I would appreciate some support. And did he like you? Did he?
Yet to be determined, but just real quick, my name's Bareth, and I open the door and walk out.
Right, that's Bareth. Let's go. Yes, Mr. Boulderfist. How are you?
Well, to be honest, I wanted to come. I wasn't really happy with how we left things in there, and I've been doing some thinking, and I'd like to essentially see if maybe there is an agreement we could come to. I don't know if you knew it, boy, but I knew your father, not quite well, but well enough, and your father gave his life, or lost his life, down in me mines, and as far as I'm concerned, I owe a debt to ye Stonehearts, and I can fly into a rage pretty quickly, but at the end of the day, a debt is a debt, and I think we might be able to find a way to figure out this wee situation we find ourselves in.
I appreciate you, the humbleness that it would take to come to my doorstep to say that. A man like you could have just summoned me, and so I appreciate that. I reckon there must be an agreement, and I would love to speak with you on that.
I need to speak with the other heads of the mine. They work for me, of course, but different team leads and whatnot. I have advisors and such that I must speak with on in this matter, of course. But
okay,
I think that maybe as a one-time thing, allowing them to pass, and then just coming up with a system that might allow it in the future. But I just wanted to let you know, and I didn't sit well with me to go to sleep tonight after the conversation we just had. So what I'd like and what I propose is you give me the day to, it's 2:00 right now.
Aye.
Give me the rest of the day. If you would come back to me office around sundown, and I'll have an answer for you. Something we can work together on.
That would be a fine conversation. I will give you to the end of the day.
Does this seem legitimate, or does it seem like we're going to walk into a big, juicy trap?
Insight.
Just tell me. Oh, that's better. A dirty 20.
It seems like many dwarves, honor is very important to this person, and though in the moment they didn't when they flew off the handle when Cosmo and Rangram were essentially intimidating this dude in his office, that went about as bad as it possibly could have gone. And having some time now to kind of cool down, it seems like they do legitimately feel like they owe a debt to the Stonehearts, and they didn't feel good about how that was. And so, though it is not in their nature to do this, and if they feel like this is some like a debt owed and a debt paid kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
It's a trap.
Drop. Yep.
100%. 100%. I don't believe him for a second, but I'll allow it.
Sounds legit. Okay.
Oh, yep. Everybody just told the guy with the highest insight check to stay inside. So
I love that so much. It's so funny.
Well, when he was pretty much actually getting more pissed off that you were there, kind of went with that.
fair.
I didn't even have to roll my insight.
I'm just eating lizard stew and braiding your mom's beard.
That's nice.
Is that a euphemism?
You best not be braiding me mom's beard. I'll have your head.
Oh no, we killed Dan.
Oh.
Oh no, breathe.
At least he hit the mute button. I have to. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
As Brongrim starts to walk away, I kind of like turn and hold the door open for Cosmo to go back into the house. I look at Cosmo, I'm like, it seems a little more kind and genuine than the way you guys described him earlier.
Right.
So we don't need to kill him?
Well, I still don't know if I believe him, but my father and him did work in the mines together, and I hope that he will stick to his word. Nevertheless, if he doesn't, I'll know what to do.
I'll be honest, in my long time on this earth, I don't think I've necessarily met a dwarf that's gone back on his word. So, as far as I'm concerned, he seemed like he was pretty genuine. Let's maybe take it at face value. I have someone that I need to actually meet with as well and discuss basically what you were just discussing with Brongrim. Maybe we as a group head back down to the mines, and you remember Jorro, he's expecting us. I think someone with your candor and honesty might go a little bit farther than someone who's a little more creative with the truth than myself.
I reckon I will follow along, and I love me a Jorro. He's a good man. Think.
Yeah, I still have not figured it out, but he pays well, so that's all that matters.
That's right. Money talks.
True.
Rangrim, you done stuffing your face? Oh my god, what are you doing to Cosmos? Oh, it's braiding her beard. Angles are important, man.
Grim, you best not be up to any funny business.
He's just like, nope, I'm still just eating soup. I should be going now, and he's just gonna leave.
Right.
Well, meanwhile, Amy Stoneheart's beard is perfectly beautifully braided.
Your beard looks nice, Mom. I'll be back just in time for dinner.
Does Rangrim have a skill set? I'm asking Dan, not DM. Does he have a skill set of braiding female dwarven beards because of his daughter?
Ooh.
I would. His daughter, I wouldn't say would have been. I don't know if we even touched on this. I think we've just been saying that dwarf women have beards,
Or not.
but
I don't know.
his daughter would not have been old enough to grow a beard.
Okay.
Wait,
I'm just throwing that out there.
Totally out of game. I'm just curious.
Timeline-wise, it's actually a good question, Rangrim. How long has it been since you left the Underdark? It was like
he left during the Sundering, which was 50 years ago.
50 years ago, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
50 years ago, and at that time, his daughter was only like 30 years old, which is mega young for a dwarf. So she was like barely a teenager.
Okay.
For sure.
I was just curious.
But he did braid her hair.
Okay.
The finer points of cosmetology are known to this gray dwarf.
Cosmetology?
That's right.
That was for you, John. That was for you,
Good.
John.
I like it a lot. Thank you.
That might be...
I will take the inspiration.
Take inspiration for that.
Yeah, so as Rangrim starts to turn out, I like very obviously am struggling with the amount of gear I'm carrying. I throw over my shoulder. I'm like, all right, boys, let's make this trip quick. I just like start uncomfortably carrying this.
Do you need a broader soldier to carry that? Do you have
know one?
No, my shoulder.
Oh, broader shoulder. I thought you said soldier. Yeah, I'll take some help.
Well,
you want to get the bottom of it?
Yeah, I'll carry that. Just give it right on there.
I just like fling it. It's like, I don't want this. It's probably not even that heavy. I just have a strength of 0. So
it just sits right on there, and he could like that's it, Elf. And you were struggling that hard.
It's not important.
Let's go. Let's lead the way.
What's the plan for getting down? I think that Rangrim and Cosmo have the ability to free pass down there. I think that Glenn probably doesn't have the ability to just like pass through whenever he wants because he's not affiliated with the mine anyway. So do you have a plan?
Yeah, I mean, more or less as we're approaching the second gate.
Yeah.
Which is the first one before the broken
The second
one.
is the center gate, essentially.
I looked at Cosmo and said, you know Jorro, you know where to find him. Take this to him, tell him it's from me. I'm going to keep a lookout from here, make sure we don't have any prying eyes. I can't go too much further, but will you drop this off for me? And just tell him what Brongrim told you. Tell him we'll have an answer by sundown.
I will carry, and right, and if you decide to do your rogue thing on the way down, I'll see you on the other side then.
That's a good point. And as we get close to the second gate, I would just kind of like sit up against the wall, and I'd like bamf into Poe and send Poe over the gate, like overseeing him.
Cool. So Rangrim and Cosmo are going past the second gate. And as you
hold on. As we get to the as we get to the gate, there are guards just at the gate. They're on top of the gate.
They're up on top of the wall. Yeah, there are people milling about between. Essentially, okay. So gate 3, which is the first gate you guys come to, is literally the doorway you guys go through into to get into the mine. It's it's the main gateway into the town. And then the second gate is essentially like a parapet of like a castle, essentially with a gate, and there's a walkway up on top of it. And so that's where you are now. And there are people milling about, people passing through the gate from time to time, where it'll lift up just enough to, for someone to go underneath or a minecart to go through. And it does open and close with regularity. It's just that there's coming and going of people.
Okay. And so who's the gate operator on top?
Yeah. So essentially they're looking down on you as you come in. Oi, Cosmo, you going through?
I'm going through. I have some deliveries for the mine.
Yeah, I hadn't seen you working in a while, so are you just on monster killing business now? Are you still working for old Brongrim?
I'll do it for Brongrim when I have the time. Mining is in me blood. It's fun, but sometimes protecting the mine comes first.
Gotcha. Hey, you can't. You don't have to tell me that. I work in security detail for years now. So, anyway, I don't want to take up any more time. Feel free to go on through. And you hear this clink, 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 clink as the it opens up, just essentially enough for you guys to go through. And yeah.
Right then. I think we'll pass through. Rangrim, come on, friend.
What do you got there, by the way? What are you bringing in? You doing some heavy duty mining? It seems like a lot of pickaxes.
I don't know. I was passed off from me mom, and on me way down, it was just a parcel for the miners. Maybe it's probably lunch and tools and.
Oh, that's really thoughtful. Okay, yeah, go on through. Don't worry about it. Yeah, he rolled a
Kinda
shit.
didn't.
He rolled a shit ass insight check, so it's fine. He rolled a 2. Yeah, he was. They were not. They were not really.
They were
that sly.
no.
They were not. They were not slidey. But pretty much as soon as you go through, the gate starts lowering, and it doesn't slam behind you, but it slowly closes, and it is shut. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Glenn. You're standing by that door that you've snuck through before to get farther into the mine past and the door actually opens, and you see a kind of a shorter human female figure that walks out, is wearing just like the normal Boulder Fist mining company garb, and she kind of just looks over at you and kind of smirks, and then just keeps walking farther into essentially towards the third gate into the town.
She's a elf, dwarf. Could I recognize?
It's just a human, kind of like a stouter human female.
And she just smirked at me and kept walking.
Yeah.
I don't do anything, but I send Poe after and tell her to keep an eye on her.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, so Rangrim and Cosmo, what are you doing right now?
I guess I'm looking for Jorro. I don't even.
Yeah, so there you can see that Jorro is essentially like sleeves rolled up, like, I mean, completely just they're in the process, all kind of working together to try to rebuild and try to pick up the pieces of what happened after the first gate got essentially destroyed. They're not able to like pick up the actual like big giant pieces of stone. It seems like it's been, whether by them or by the Boulder Fist Mining Company, it seems like the path has been cleared and the rail line has been repaired in between, so that carts can pass through. But the actual like picking up and fixing of these housing for the refugee encampment has not. I mean, they're doing it themselves, and so they're kind of like, you can see Jorro like just completely covered in sweat, like arms, like sleeves rolled up, just like completely working on trying to help repair some of these homes.
Cool. So I guess I would just, I don't know, how far am I?
I mean, you can get to them quickly. It's
yeah,
not a very big
that's
space.
fine. I don't want to shout across the way, but I don't want to like. I just kind of want to get it with like a reasonable voice range of just, "Oi, Jorro, it's me, Cosmo. Glenn sent me down. I've got a parcel for you."
Oh man. Well, that's great. Here, if that's what I think it is, we should probably go into the tent. Hold on one second.
I reckon we should.
Peter, do you mind? Yeah, just hold that up. Just if you can, yeah, help her. I'll be right back, I promise. And so he leads you over to his kind of like, it's a tent that's large enough to stand in. I always use the example of like a commander whenever you see like an army that's attacking or whatever. It's like the commander's tent's a little bit bigger. It's like enough for to stand up and walk around and whatnot.
Okay. So we duck down inside into the tent. Okay.
Yep. And there's just there's a big table in the center, and then you can see that there's a bed against the back corner and maybe some shelves, some kind of makeshift stuff. But most of it is like completely ramshackle, made from scrap pieces of metal and wood and other kind of found objects that they're able to drag out of the mines up here.
So, Jorro, where would you like me to put the parcel?
Oh, just right here on the table. To be honest, I don't have much strength left in me right now. So if you could just do that'd be great.
Right, yep, there we go. And he puts it down. Glenn would have been here, but I don't think he could make it past the second gate. But sent me down to deliver. There's only a few sets, but it's a start. And
no, this is great. Please pass on my gratitude, and you're welcome to. If if it's okay with you, I'd rather give him his coin in person if
Right.
that's
Yep.
all right.
I respect it.
Just
No.
let him know that he's welcome to come down anytime and collect.
Right. I reckon I tried to sneak him through, but the guards is very intrigued. Right now, I think the three of us have drawn a bit of attention onto ourselves and trying to keep a low key. There's some new guy here now that's investigating. Yeah, I don't. His name is like Chav Hunter or something.
Chav Hunter 86, something like that. Constable.
He's a constable. He's the Empire sent him, and he's here investigating the hand and.
That symbol that has been appearing on the monsters that are coming out of the Underdark.
Right. And I guess it's making quite a bit of noise for the Empire. And they sent him down to start investigating. And he was definitely suspicious of me and Rangrim and definitely Glenn. So...
Yeah, he kind of sits down on the bed that's kind of in the corner. He's like, "Well, that's pretty interesting. I don't know what to make of it.
Me neither.
Doesn't seem like it's gonna do anything but good, unless this starts pointing in the wrong direction. And I can only see good coming from having someone else looking into these attacks."
Right, I just, as long as they is not trying to support the attacks from whatever, we don't know who this thing is that is sending all these monsters into this section, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We just have to ensure that we can trust the people before we really truly invite them into our space.
Hey, I can understand that quite a lot.
Yep.
So now down to kind of business.
Right.
This is great. I appreciate the weaponry that you've been able to provide. This will, of course, help. But are you arming us to try to get through the gate, or are you arming us to find another way out? What is the goal? What is your goal? I need to be able to give my people some hope. Right now it's hard to come by. So I want to be able to tell them something, have a plan for them. I need to appear strong.
Right. Well, shortly after we left here, I went straight into Mr. Borderfist's office, demanding that you guys be given transport through the gates.
He starts laughing, and he just kind of and it turns into kind of a hacking cough. And then he's like, wipes his mouth, and he goes, I'll bet that went just wonderful.
Well, he didn't take to me friend Rangrim here first, but
I can imagine. I've heard stories of what the bias that he seems to have.
But I reckon when I threatened conflict, I gave him some time, and he came back to me shortly after, and
Really?
He's going to be going back to his I don't know, whatever it is. It's a council of miners, and he owes a debt to me family, and if that debt must be paid in making way for you guys to find safety at the surface, then he's supposed to return to me by sundown tonight, and we'll know what our next step is.
Wait, are you telling me that they're going to allow us to go through?
That's what I'm fighting for.
Let me understand. So he actually told you, Brongrin told you that he's going to be allowing us to pass to the surface unmolested?
That is what, on me honor, that is what I am fighting for. Anything short of that.
You see just the most relief come over Jorro, that he's kind of someone that's always trying to present this level of strength and kind of cool and collect you see just his stature just completely relax as you say this, and he just kind of like chuckling to himself. It just like in disbelief, but at the same time, just like utter happiness of this whole thing. I I apologize. We've been down here so long, and I never in my life expected to hear that. That is the best news I can possibly imagine. I didn't want to have to if every single member of this group can get to the surface without having to fight their way, we would have had heavy casualties. This is the best option. I can't believe it. You need to understand, I won't fully believe it until it's done, but
Right.
the fact that you were able to pass down here and get these to us without a problem, you seem to have some sort of, the two of you seem to be pulling some sort of weight in this town. And I believe that if there's anyone that could, solve this right now, of course, Glenn, I apologize. I forgot about him for a second. He's not here. He's not right in front of me, but it's been a long day.
Right.
But
yep.
I appreciate this more than you can know, and more than I can ever say. I'm probably going to hold off on telling everyone just because in the option that there could be bad news.
Right.
But please let us know as soon as possible, because this is going to change lives.
Right. Yep. Whatever you find is safe to bring the right amount of hope, but not without the great loss of if whatever comes of this, I will return, or Glenn or someone will come down with message of word, and I do not seek to be there to be one casualty of bringing you guys out onto the surface for safety, and I will see to it personally.
Well, you've had my respect, all three of you. Now you have my trust.
We appreciate that, and we want your kind to be up on top where they deserve, safe, and I will return with word as soon as possible.
I think safety is something that we all deserve.
Agreed. Safety.
Awesome. So are you all just kind of heading back through?
While that was going on, did Poe see the short little lady go anywhere of interest?
Do me a
within 100 feet.
Do me a perception check.
So it's 100 feet of me. Poe and I can communicate telepathically.
Oh, they would have moved out of range as soon as they went out of the mine. Then you would have watched her go out of the mine.
That was a big old one.
Okay. I will say that Poe is, I mean, you trust Poe, everything like that. But as soon as they passed through the mine, Poe completely lost sight of them. And,
okay.
They don't see them.
Glenn would have made a mental note of like her features and what she looked like, and would have stayed waiting at the second gate for Cosmo and Rangrim.
Awesome.
Speaking notes, 36, 24, 36.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I guess we can wait for Bubba to get back. But
and Cosmo died.
And Cosmo dies. That's it. And wrap it up. And
man, well, I guess we all just side with Bongrim and just.
You're so close to calling him Bongrin, and I love it.
Oh, what were the names that I had written down? I had bronchitis and bong rips.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Do you? I know Bobby's not here, but I'm still going to ask. Do you both have any plan for what you want to do following this?
Yeah. Well, I kind of need Cosmo, but I would ask Rangrim as well if they would have recognized the girl that I described, which would be the short, stout girl who gave me a smirk and is looking to die.
I doubt Rangrim would be aware of who this woman this woman was. I mean, perhaps I saw her in town at some point, unless she's like a new arrival, but I don't think Rangrim's not one to keep tabs on the comings and goings of normal townsfolk. So unless she was like somebody established in town, I don't think he would have been aware of who she was.
Sorry, what did I miss?
As you came back, I would have described I stole your things. As you guys kind of came back to that second gate, I would have asked you if you recognized the description of the short, stout girl who maybe walked by and might have smirked my way, if you recognized her as a Imperial Guard or who she may have been.
Oh, I don't even know what I would roll for that.
History. General, just history. Yeah, it's just, I think that's what I would use for memory.
Okay. Be a 14.
From the description you got, it's kind of hard. You didn't see her, and so like that there are a multitude of women that work that work as in different roles within the Boulder Fist Mining Company, and it could have been any number of women that you've seen while you've been working there.
Well, this maybe she was smirking at you because she thought you was cute, Glenn. But
I mean, I get that a lot, but in my time on this planet, it looked a little bit different.
Right. Well,
hey, maybe you might be onto something.
Did you notice anything peculiar markings or anything unique?
I mean, I would say she's short, but given present company, I might be offending 3 people at the same time. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that she was more stout. She might have had a more solid base, maybe able to charge through a line, if you will.
Right.
I don't follow in the slightest. Was she tall? Was she short? Was she a dwarf? I'm so confused.
I'm thirsty. Does anybody want to go grab a drink?
We can both tell you're thirsty.
Well, yeah, right.
A mage hand pull a joint out of his beard and flick it.
Wait, that's mine. And I would run to pick up my spliff.
Did Poe lose her? I know I stepped away.
You rolled a nat 1.
Oh,
nat 1, Poe.
But
Poe ran into like the top of the mine.
Yeah, Poe. Something bad happened to Poe, and it essentially, as soon as they went through the first gate, maybe Poe actually didn't even make it through. Maybe it shut before Poe actually got through. But as soon as they passed through that first gate, lost them completely.
How's Jorro doing? See, you seem a little more worse for wear, or is he doing all right?
He's doing great. I gave him the news, and I think he was beyond relieved to hear that we're getting such good traction for Brongrim. And
how much gold he ended up giving you for that score?
Well, he reckoned that he should probably give it to you in person, but I don't. So
we agreed.
And we agreed. I didn't want to contest it. I've got plenty of gold. I don't want to think of anything funny.
Glenn just starts cracking up and like a full-blown belly laugh. He's like, "Oh my God, Jorro got you guys so very good. It's always gold at time of transfer. There is no I'll pay you later. It is right up front. It's okay. We'll get there together.
I don't know why it's funny. We gave him your stuff.
That's a fair counter argument. But, maybe on the next time through, we'll go ahead and do that one together.
Yeah. I'm just glad I didn't tell him I could make more stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why have we not been using that?
That's a very good question. Why
have we not been doing that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I actually was super curious. I was like, why aren't they making weapons? But hey, I wasn't going to bring it up.
Huh.
Yeah. Are you guys heading to the tavern? To the Manic, or where are you going?
What do we
I
want?
need a drink. Rangrim, you need to maybe check in.
What
with
time
Matt,
is it?
See if her hangover's good.
I'll say it's probably about 3 o'clock at this point. It's been probably an hour since you talked to Brongren.
Sundown is what time?
Right.
6, 7, something like that. I'll let you know.
Some time to kill. Yeah, so Cosmo, I think you might have phased out there for a little bit, but Rangrim and I were just talking, and
Right.
I just want you guys to know that all my time on this planet, I've done a lot of exploring, and I just need you to know that what they've been telling you is all a lie. It is flat. There are ice walls on the borders, and there is something called the Deep State.
Well, I'm just gonna stop you right there, Glenn. I have dug. I bet you Rangrim has dug real deep in these mines, and if there was a bottom, we would have found it.
That's what they want you to think, brother. That is what they want you to think.
Oh no, this is the big bad is actually the flat earthers. Tiger King's of flat earthers. That's what this whole campaign's about.
Oh shit.
Awesome. So you guys are okay. Aside from flat earth stuff, you've made your way to the Matic?
Yes.
Before we hit the Matic, Glenn is hungry. Is there a hot dog cart? And can I talk to the hot dog cart person?
Oh, for fucking sure. I've been waiting for this.
Perfect. I approach the hot dog cart because I did not have dwarven gruel.
So around it's essentially around where the front of the mine is. It seems like they roll it out there during the day to kind of try to entice the workers and whatnot heading home. And so as you're passing by, hey, well, what can I get for you? I mean, not for nothing, but I have the best hot dogs in the land.
Hey there. We've met a couple times. I've seen you outside the bars with the kind of have like the bacon wrapped and the onions. I can smell it from about a mile away. What was your name again? I never caught. I'm usually stumbling a little bit.
My name's Daas.
Daas, very nice to meet you. I love this establishment. I've been trying to tell my friends here about it. It's quite underrated because, a lot of people think that home cooking's the way to go, but what you have here is an anomaly in itself. Can I get 3 of your finest hot dogs?
Oh, yeah. I mean, most of the people that, like I said, most of the people don't know that the only way to do it is 100% Underdark rat meat. That is the stuff. That is the prime cuts. Everyone else goes to cows and whatever else. And it's like, you know what? You just don't get the real Underdark flavor if you're just not getting the real stuff. You gotta get the authentic real meat.
Daas, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm going to try to drink so much later that I forget everything you just told me.
He just starts laughing, and he's like, oh my god, it's too easy. Just I didn't even have to roll a deception check on that one. Come on. Here we go. Yeah, I'll get you all the fixins. You tell me. I'll do a couple different kinds. So he makes up like 3 to 4 different kind of combinations of toppings and whatnot, and kind of hands them to you on some sort of plate adjacent thing.
Adjacent thing.
Glenn eats his adjacent. Glenn eats his with mage hand, of course, because those just fall apart.
Of course.
And I hand the other 2 to the fellas. You guys tell me what you think. Daas, I know drunkenly we've talked about this, but have you ever thought of franchising?
Yeah, no, I've definitely thought about it. Das Hot Dogs. That's it's a killer name. But what you have a better idea? You have a good name you want to franchise with? What are you thinking? I appreciate your business mind.
I think we lose the hot. It's just Das Dogs. I mean,
Das Dog. Whoa! You are taking it to a whole new level, my guy. Okay, you know what? I know you're getting another Das Dog on the house.
That's an inspiration.
I'm gonna take that from you, sir, and I will see you after my hangover either hits or just before my hangover begins. But my friends, we're gonna venture forth It's always good seeing you, Daas, and just think about it. Maybe we get another setup. Maybe we start hitting it on the road. We travel a lot. We can share your name. Just think about it. We just need the recipe. That's all we need to give up. Just give up that recipe.
Hey, you know, we could probably figure out some sort of thing where you like put something on the side of the cart. I just spitballing ideas here. You know, someone that says Daas Dogs, you can hand them out. You know, who knows? You know, the sky's the limit. Let's you know what? I like where your head's at. So let's definitely do some more brainstorming. I think that we probably need some liquor, but yeah, let's get together later. Let's talk about some things. Talk business.
Glenn looks at Rangram and goes, "You hear that? We need liquor."
What is liquor? As he's like still like eating a hot dog.
It's I can't tell if you're fucking with me. Let's just start walking.
I'm fucking with you. Let's go.
God damn it. Every goddamn time.
Guys, I like that we just canonically made Daas Dogs. That was some good. That's a good solid RP.
That just happened, but like Daas Dogs, I'm so on board with the alliteration.
Look, you give us side quests and we make side quests. There's two different worlds.
Dude, I fucking just that's what you get. That's the real uncut D&D right there. Is when you fucking just make up stupid. It's the best. Anyway, this game is the best. So
well, I do hope you're ready to serve us hot dogs because I am going back to that cart. He's more than you're comfortable.
He's there. He's the official sponsor of this town, as far as I'm concerned. He's the most important thing. This whole campaign is now about Daas Dogs.
It's about 10 flat brought Earth. To you by Daas Dogs.
It's about flat Earth, Tiger Kings, and hot dogs. That's all it is, all the way down. Awesome. Hey, you guys want to like move the story forward, or?
Let's.
Not terrible.
Rangram's gonna go back. I want to see if we got peppers and onions on these. What kind of mustards?
Oh, he's got so many different kinds. He's got the yellow kind. He's got the yellow kind with the little stuff things floating around in it.
You know, like that hot like mustard that you get at like the Chinese restaurants where it's almost like liquid and it's like too hot, but you keep eating it anyways.
Yeah, he's got the Grey Poupon. He has all of it.
This
got licensing later.
This well, like as we're all standing around in a circle eating our hot dogs and chowing down, Cosmo pulls out the amulet of his pocket and from that he got from James, and he's guys, I feel like this. I need this to be who should I have this looked at by? I really feel like it's something special, and I don't know what to do with it.
I like hold out a hand to like ask, like, mind? Can I tinker with it for a little bit? While like my mage hand holds just a hot dog.
Yep, you can touch it. By my face. You can touch it. Here you go.
And as I'm looking, I'm like taking bites, like as I'm like kind of fiddling with it. Are there any like the same way the whistle had buttons? Are there any like levers to it, or is it just like a solid piece?
I don't think so. I think it's just one solid piece right there. That's it. All of that.
So it's a solid silver amulet, like pretty heavy, like it's ovular, but it's essentially kind of around the same size as that coin, but it's in an ovular shape, kind of ornamental around the sides, and then it seems to have like a coat of like a family coat of arms that is emblazoned into the top with like it's almost like an ivory inlay of like a coat of arms.
Do I recognize the coat of arms in my old ass age?
Roll a history check.
Ass age. Fuck. God, I've been rolling so bad. 7.
No, I would say that there's a lot of coats of arms, and this is not. You probably would recognize most of the major families within. Just within all these continents that you've been on, between Sakal and Norda and whatever else, and you recognize this as not. I'll give you that. You don't recognize this as like a major family. It could be a minor family. Almost a lot of families have coats of arms, and this just could be. There's nothing that really makes it stand out to you. But it does seem this thing seems old. Like it doesn't. It seems like they've tried caring for it pretty well, but you can tell that this has been well loved. The ivory has been worn smooth. Like the thing itself is, tarnished from time. You can guess that it's pretty old.
All right. He takes like his sleeve in his hands, like, I don't think I recognize his arms. Maybe Rangrim might have an idea, but a funny little goblin friend with the floating eye, she might be able to help us with this.
The floating little eye. What's that?
I don't know if you remember too clearly, but remember when you narked on me the second we walked inside the building?
That's right. That was over at the reliquary.
That was over there.
That's right.
I don't think Rangrim was there. I feel like Rangrim would get a kick out of her.
I don't remember him being there, but I reckon maybe you should. Do you want to go back to that store?
Hey, we got time to kill. The sun looks very much up, and we are waiting for the sun to be very much down.
Let's go on over there then. Unless
where are we going?
we're just gonna have a little lady look at me silver thing I got from James.
I hand Rangrim my second hot dog.
Okay, and he takes the hot dog, but looks back over at Daas. There's a brief conversation there, and then he just follows suit while still eating this hot dog.
All right, hey,
Swear to God, Rangrim's gonna edge me out. I'll fucking kill him.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna forget. You guys better. We're having that business conversation. We're franchising this thing. We're taking it right to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We're gonna do it, but first we gotta do this, and then we probably gotta do that, but we'll do it.
Hey, you know I understand. You're important people. You got babies to kiss and things to do, shit to do. That's a saying, right? Yeah. Anyway. Goodbye.
That's weird. I'm gonna pretend.
Kiss a lot of babies.
I'm embarrassing myself at this point.
I walk up to Rangrim. Rangrim, you seemed very interested in that Daas Dog situation. I think we will work something out. It looks like it's gonna work out for us in the future.
I mean, I haven't eaten rat from the underdog in decades, and I'm skeptical because it didn't taste this good. But it does, and I'm gonna eat him.
I think he may have been pulling my leg, but I'm gonna go ahead and just assume that you know what all rat tastes like. And
well, either way, he finishes that hot dog and just reaches behind his back, and he just pulls out another hot dog.
A secret hot dog.
There's something going on here.
Glenn looks at the ground, kind of sad that he gave up his second hot dog, knowing that Rangrim had other hot dogs already purchased.
I'm so excited for all of Rangrim's belt to just be just holsters of hot dogs, hot dog holsters. That's gonna be all he's gonna forge from now on.
It's gonna be like a holsters. Shotgun bandolier of holsters.
I'm not trying to blow up my own spot at all. But John, check your DMs.
Okay.
Oh no.
Because Glenn leans forward.
Oh no!
So fucking good. I love it. Yes, that's amazing.
Rangrim leans over to Glenn and says, "Wait, what's that behind your ear?" And I'm gonna slide a hand to try and pull a hot dog out from behind Glenn's ear.
You actually have pretty good dex, don't you?
Oh no, my dex is a 0.
Okay.
That was a 6. So he's wicked aware of me holding a hot dog and then.
Wow, that was what a magic trick.
Yeah.
Cosmo seems so surprised. He's like, "That was crazy, Rangrim! You just pulled the bloody hot dog out of his ear."
Oh yeah, you think that's crazy?
That's crazy.
Pocket and just throws one at Cosmo, and you get a hot dog. And then turns to Glenn, and you get a hot dog.
Just sidestep.
You get a hot dog.
Step out of the way.
Oh,
Rangrim, how much might you spend at that cart?
Not that we're counting or anything, but I'm checking off 4 hot dogs from a list for no reason.
Oh god,
that is a lot of hot dogs.
He's gonna need a bag of holding for his dogs.
Belt of dog holding.
That's amazing. That's a new legendary item in our campaign.
Can it be like a bandolier, like it would have be shotgun shells, but it's just hot dogs?
Hot dogs.
I like the idea of just bag of holding that is just infinite dogs.
All the dogs.
All
the dogs. Right.
Knock on the reliquary door because I'm assuming we're there by now.
All of the RP bullshit.
Dude, I think we've been doing hot dogs for 30 minutes, guys.
No, we haven't. We haven't been doing dogs for 30 minutes.
It's been close. It's been close. It's damn near close. It was 8:20 when we started, I think.
Oh god.
Okay.
I don't think we got her name the first time.
Welcome to the reliquary.
Well, there's a lot. I'm here. How are you, mate? What's her name again?
I don't think we ever got it.
You never got a name.
We didn't. Well, my name's Cosmo. I don't remember if you remember me. We was here some time ago, and I have a little thing for you to look at if you like.
Yes, are you going to sell me the what does that tiger whistle? Are you gonna sell me that now?
I kind
We were
of.
going to. You wanted. If I remember correctly, you came in here asking for, end quote, all of the mithril.
That's right. That's right.
God damn it.
I just remembered too. You guys never asked Brongrid if he had any mithril.
Nope. Well, I tried to. Yeah.
I 100% pissed him off before we could get there.
Yeah, we're good at this game.
I did find more mithril.
Well,
interested
I.
in my wonderful treasures.
Does Glenn see the floating eye?
I don't know. Do you see it? Do a perception check or investigation, whichever one you want to do. Because you're looking specifically for it, so I'd probably say investigation.
So crying.
15.
Yes, you see that there is a magical eye that is blinking at you from around the side of like a pile of stuff on a table.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if it's like a scrying eye or if it's a different type of magic?
Yes, I don't think that's exactly how it works. I think more knowledge. You'll have like general knowledge of the kind of magic just based on your travels. But yeah, do Arcana check. We'll see what I can give you. Arcana is essentially history of magic.
That is a 12. 9 plus 3, 12.
Yeah, I'll say that with a 12, you get the idea that this thing is similar to how the functionality of a mage hand, something like that.
Okay.
It looks similar physically. Like,
and the layout of the store is like it's like a front door and like a desk or like a.
It is piles of crap everywhere. It's literally tables and shelves that are just piled with crap everywhere. So like there are little tiny aisles that are goblin-sized pathways through these piles of crap and valuables and whatnot, but they are just like mounds essentially if you think about it. And this is it's like a pretty crappy old wooden and wooden building, and there's like tattered pieces of stuff and hanging from the ceiling, and then there's also like all the windows are covered. It's a very dark in there and just kind of lit by candles. But I mean, goblins have dark vision, so you essentially assume that she just kind of functions in there that way.
Okay, cool.
Well,
low light.
I recall the mithril request, but I have to ask my friend with the whistle what he was hoping for. But how much gold would it take for you to identify this amulet? And I reach out and show it to her.
Well, I appreciated last time that you told me about your thieving little friend, so
right, don't
I will do this one for free, and maybe we can come up with a deal afterwards.
That seems nice. I reckon. I reckon as long as you could tell me something interesting about it, and
yeah, you feel her hand kind of reaches out with the long fingers and the long nasty nails, and they kind of just scrape across your palm as it like picks it up by the chain and holds it up, and she kind of creeps over to the little workstation she has in the back, and she kind of like sits down with it and pulls a little jeweler's glass out, and then she kind of points up behind her, and you see a second eye appear that is like, so you have essentially one down the table here and one that's over here now, and it's kind of moving around, and it's keeping an eye on you, and don't try any funny business now, okay?
Right. Yep. Glenn, you heard her, and I'm just like scooting up over her shoulder
to like look down and see what she's looking at.
So
Guys,
as that's happening, Glenn would take account as to how many eyes are watching him. Is it just the one that's floating up high, or is it like both of them are focused on him?
Both of them are focused on you.
Just on Glenn.
Yeah, I mean they're looking at you all. You're all standing in the doorway essentially, and they're all staring at you.
Well, I don't
Glenn
know
would
where
start to,
she is, but I'm up by her.
Okay,
I would
she
walk
walks-
my way through the hallways too, like the little aisles.
Okay,
of
so
just
they're
shit everywhere.
They're following you at this point. One of them is following you for sure. The other one so the one that was hiding behind the little pile of stuff is following you, and the other one is kind of just up in the air, and it's kind of flicking back and forth between everyone, just getting a kind of like bird's eye view, whereas the other one's watching you a little bit more closely, Glenn.
I would cast Mage Hand, and it would not be an invisible Mage Hand. It would be like an opaque Mage Hand, and it's just kind of doing the Three Stooges, like the woo 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 woo, and it pokes the eye that's like floating in the air.
The one that's just the main
the
one.
one that's mainly focused on me. The one
Okay.
that's like not even remotely caring about the other people.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to blink and it kind of disperses for a second and then it appears like maybe like 2 feet to the left.
How long did it take before it reappeared?
I'll say you probably have like 10 seconds before it would appear again. Between the time it disperses and reappears.
Okay. So Glenn would basically like flirtatiously catwalk his mage hand over to the eye again, that's again focusing only on him, and you'd be keeping cadence with the eye that's kind of blinking between the three of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd poke it in the eye just as the other eye was focusing on someone else.
Okay, what are you
and
looking
he would
for?
try to just try to palm something off the shelf and put it in his pocket. Just literally anything that's palmable, I try to throw it in my pocket.
Okay, we'll have to figure that out because I don't know what it is, but I'll find something for that.
Do I need to slide a hand for it?
Yes, you definitely need to slide a hand for sure.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Rangrim takes half of a hot dog out of his mouth and slaps Glenn on the shoulder with a hot dog.
Is that a natural 20?
It is a nat 20.
Holy
Never
shit.
mind.
Okay.
You don't need guidance from my hot dog.
No, I'll take it anyways.
Hot dog guidance.
So slide of hands, that's a 30.
Wow.
With guidance. With guidance. Nat 20 plus 7 plus 3.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't have anything prepared.
I just stole something. I don't know what it is.
You stole something for sure, and I will make. I'm gonna have fun figuring out what you stole. But yeah, that's fucking cool.
I knew I'd get something from her.
So Cosmo, you're hanging out over there by the goblin lady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's kind of just doing this for a little bit and goes, "Ooh, there seems to be luck in this amulet. This is it's fickle, but it seems that if you were to the holder of this amulet would have increased luck when maybe they would not have found it."
What does that mean? What do you, luck? We dwarves.
Out of character, that means that once per day you can choose to re-roll one roll.
Ooh, so it's just like the luck amulet.
It's actually luck. Shit.
Yes.
Any D20 roll?
So a D20 roll.
Okay. All right, just clarifying.
Damn.
But that's the thing. So I kind of agonized over this one, and it was like letting you re-roll one or letting you re-roll any dice. And so I like the idea of you re-rolling any dice because you could totally use it on something that's not important and then roll a fucking 1 afterwards, which I think is way more important. I think that's way better. So.
Okay. And it's 1 roll per day or per long rest?
Per long rest. Per long rest. But I mean, essentially, I wouldn't want you using it like right away, but I think per long rest is totally fine for now.
That's fine.
I will gladly take this off your hands.
Well,
yeah, me too.
I reckon as for somebody of me kind, having some luck in me pocket would be good.
She looks very disappointed, and she kind of like is kind of like holding it a little bit closer. It's like,
Are you sure?
Well, I might keep her for a little bit, but if I change my mind, you'll be the
Look
first.
at all of my magical items you can pick from.
What do you
I
think?
got one better for you.
What do you got, Ring
Yeah?
Grim?
You can identify things, right?
Yes.
What is this made out of?
It's a hot dog.
It's one.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Oh fuck.
Yes. Let me see. And she kind of does her finger things over it, which is probably kind of gross because you can see like dirt from underneath her fingernails and stuff, like kind of like falling onto it as she kind of like slowly scratches at the hot dog and the bun. And yes, this is imbued with, down to its core, with high levels of deliciousness.
Oh, I knew it. He takes it back, puts it right back in his pocket. He doesn't eat this one. It's going in a pocket.
I'll be honest there, Rangrim. I think we might have just found our slogan. Imbued with deliciousness.
Daas's dogs imbued with deliciousness.
Oh no.
Deliciousness and every yeah, anyway, enchanted with deliciousness. I'm thinking his taglines, but okay, so hold on. So we are wildly off track and I fucking love it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And so she kind of goes over to a shelf and she pulls off, so before she had like a bowl of like a bunch of mithril pieces, and now it seems like she has like that bowl and she's found more like mithril, seems like jewelry and smaller things like that, but there's like a pretty heavy duty like chunk of mithril that looks like it's some sort of like a cufflink, and then there's like another like big kind of like small bar, think of like inch by inch cube that's in there as well. And she's it's probably like, if you were looking into it, it's probably like this much worth of mithril, a pretty good chunk if it was melted down.
And
so she's kind of shaking. She's like, so do you want to sell me the whistle?
Well, I don't really. Out of context, I don't. Who has the whistle?
Rangrim does. You made me, or you had it.
You guys
took it from me.
don't have to trade her the whistle. The whistle's a pretty powerful item. She's making an offer because you came in last time.
Rangrim, you ever worked with mithril before?
Oh, many types.
Fucking
steel,
they're
stone.
magically delicious. I love that. That's
Oh,
the
no.
Lucky Charms.
Why did that just make me envision like a cereal bowl full of hot dogs?
Oh no.
That just got weird.
Rangrim, you know if this would be enough mithril to, maybe help our hobbled friend be less hobbly?
This is a good question. Would I know if it was enough mithril to help Luthor?
Yes. So looking at what's in there, you're assuming if that's all mithril and everything's as it should be, that it's going to be cutting it close, but with a little bit of like supplementing some of the parts for some other things, like you probably could scrape through. Essentially what you need to rebuild is his knee, like essentially the joint for the knee. And so this is, with doing a little bit of like stretching and maybe skimping on some of the more fine tuning parts, you probably do think that this is close to enough to be able to do this. It's definitely not going to be anything left, but that Madge and yourself can do some good work with this, and it's going to be close.
And I'd relay kind of basically just that to Glenn. Yeah, it kind of, maybe.
Eloquently put. I believe the choice is really yours. I mean, you were the one who quite literally popped his head off of his body, so I don't think anyone here is going to try to argue with whether or not you make that decision. But
Right.
you got the option to get Luthor moving a little bit faster. I never met him before. He was a hobbled man, but That's your call, my friend.
I think it's worth it.
You think it's worth giving up the whistle for it?
I mean, I don't know if we want to turn other people into things.
But
what's the moral ambiguity of giving this whistle to this person?
Right.
That's a great point.
I heard that word today.
Wow.
It was on my toilet paper.
It's actually 2 words, but we'll get there.
It was on the other side of your hot dog wrap.
I again, that's awesome.
Like a fucking Laffy
Daas
Taffy.
Dog. Shit.
This is
Okay.
I have laughed more in this session than
So
I think.
massively derailed by hot dogs.
So
I forgot our little goblin friend's name. Did she tell us?
You haven't even asked it.
no,
Okay,
we
perfect.
tried.
You didn't ask it. No, you didn't. You're like, oh, do we know her name? Oh no. Okay, we go inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Glenn kind of like snaps his head from Rangrim to her, and with his 2 hands and a mage hand from like the corner of the room, all pointing at her. What are your plans for this whistle?
That's for me to know, and you to probably not find out because we don't talk that much.
Branger's got a help point there. I don't think we really interact with her too much. We have yet to ask her name. I think there's a safe one to set it and forget it, if you will.
But if we start finding a bunch of were-tigers in town, we know who to come for. And he's absolutely shaking a hot dog.
So the way that the way that it works is that essentially you can blow the whistle and it will force a shapeshifter to reveal its true form as long as they're within earshot of you, and that is how it works. And then you can turn it back. You can reverse that by essentially pushing the button and doing the other one. It doesn't turn people into were-tigers. It just forces shapeshifter.
It just forces shifters to go to
reveal.
their wherefore.
Which, as you were saying, is not always a good thing because that is essentially like that could be really against someone's wills.
But if we've got people in disguise, like this
it won't
weird...
affect disguises. It only works on shapeshifters. Like, so if someone is like doppelgangers,
here's a specific example that we, as out of character or whatever. Glenn turns into Cosmo, tries to go through the gate. Wouldn't
work. Nope.
Okay,
that's illusion magic. It has to be like literally a shapeshifter, so like doppelganger or a wearer or of some sort, and that's all it's gonna work on.
Give that shit up.
Magic.
Give that shit up. Just throw it. I don't. It's not gonna help.
Well, Rangrim, it's your call, my friend. We can get
as soon as you guys sell this thing, it's all
up
you're
and run
fucking fighting
again.
That's fucking for sure.
The goblin's the big bad. Look at my wares.
Behold my wares.
They're all were beasts. You.
Oh god. Okay, so you're trading whistle for pile of mithril. Okay.
All right.
She very quickly like takes the whistle and hands you the bowl, and then it just as soon as you have it, she kind of covets it and goes, "Okay, goodbye now. Goodbye."
Well.
No, goodbye.
Okay. All right. That's bye.
That felt kind of suspicious. Rangrim, can you check to make sure that is mithril?
As soon as you guys leave the hut, the door shuts behind you, and you just hear a whistle blowing.
Oh man.
Wait, Rangrim, can you check if that's mithril?
Oh yeah, well, I'm looking. I'm pretty sure it's mithril.
It's mithril.
It's actually just chocolate.
I killed the DM.
No, you can roll a check on it, Rangrim, but it's you're I mean, with your years of smithing, everything like that, like mithril has a luster and to it that you would recognize right off the bat.
That was a natural 20.
Oh fuck!
So if it's chocolate, I'm going right back in there, and she's getting slapped with a hot
dog. Yeah, no, it's absolutely mithril. I think you're gonna have to weed through some of the there's especially the jewelry has other metals.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
into it. Yeah,
bits and bobs of other things would have to be.
It's going to be tedious. It's going to be tedious, and it's probably going to take time. But you can, especially with your skills as a forge cleric, you can definitely turn this into what it needs to be.
Where's the sun at? Here.
Yeah, I think it's probably been an hour. So you're probably 4 o'clock.
Boys, I don't know about yourselves, but after all that hot dog and mithril talk, I'm getting a little thirsty. Maybe we head over to the Matic and greet our new friend. See if Mr. Constable Chav Hunter's made himself familiar at the Matic. What do you think?
I think that's fair.
And away we go.
Awesome. Yeah, you're able to quickly make your way over to the Matic, and you just picking up table kind of around the outside as your normal, or what are you looking for?
Yeah, I would. We normally put ourselves in that little side corner table, but when we get in, Glenn would immediately start looking for this stout girl, the one that kind of smirked at him.
Yeah, roll perception check.
Fuck me, dude. Perception. I rolled a 6 plus 4. That's a 10.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see it's. I mean, this place is pretty open. There's a chance that she could be on the other side of the bar or something like that because the bar is kind of in the center. But when you're walking in, you don't see anyone. You also don't see Constable Hunter there. It's been a couple hours since you saw them, so they were heading straight there. You would assume that maybe they just have moved on since.
It's probably good that someone on the job didn't immediately go start drinking too.
Right.
Yeah.
I waved to Tom Tom, you know what I want, right?
Oh, of course I do. And he pulls out the very dainty glass off the top, and I'll have it up for you in just a moment. Don't you worry. And he kind of is pulling out all the things to do, and he's kind of pulling them out onto the bar, spilling some of them, and then the bar kind of catches on fire. He's like, oh no, he's patting it out. Don't worry, I'll have it up for you. And then so he kind of starts putting everything together, and he's going down his list of the multitude of items that go into the Flaming Lips drink. And after a probably kind of a long time, you're like, God, this fucking bartender is really just kind of really taking forever on this. It's he kind of daintily hands you this little glass of that's on fire. Here you go.
I blow it out and take a sip. Do I die?
Constitution save throw.
That's a 1.
Okay, you go to blow it out, and you think you got all the fire, but you realize that he probably didn't mix this all the way correctly, and it's very, very alcoholic. And so it hits you right away, and it also burns the the roof of your mouth, which it does go out after that, but it burns the roof of your mouth, and it also burns the back of your throat pretty fucking badly, as he gives you a pretty alcoholic Flaming Lips this time.
Tom, a little less on the fire next time.
It was a good one, right? It was a good one. I'm pretty proud of this one.
You're a kind soul. Two dwarven meats,
so
please.
Nice. I mean, I assume you're probably right there with him, unless he walked up to the bar by himself.
Nope. You're right there next to me.
I think he burnt his lips a little bit.
Just pull
The Flaming Lips, I get it now. It makes perfect sense.
He hands both of you the glasses and goes, just put it on the tab then, or?
Yeah, it's under Glenn Asirius.
Hey, that was really good. You know what? Throw it on my tab.
Rangram just winks. He's like, I'm paying attention, and just moseys to his table, or our table rather.
I'm glad to hear that you are serious about this transaction.
Oh man.
Hey, that wasn't me. That was Tom. He loves puns. So
it's close enough. It's close enough.
Okay. Yes.
Do we recognize anybody new in the tavern?
Um,
Like very much outside the norm. Does anybody basically kind of look like me in that tavern? Like just completely out of place in a mining town?
Roll. Well, I guess you already rolled perception. I'll say with the perception check
10.
you rolled, you really don't pick anyone up. You're also newer in town, like ish. Like you don't know every single person, so like there are people that don't look as familiar to you, but they also don't look out of place. There's no one with there's no shady person in a cloak leaning against like a conspicuous dark spot in the corner or anything of that sort.
Okay, cool.
You do see, though, as you're walking back to the table that you all grabbed, you do see Luthor hobbling his way over to you. From like up, he's kind of working his way up the staircase and seems to be moving your way. And he actually, you see, he has his, he seems to have he has his sword over his back. He has his duster on, his tattered duster. And he also seems to have a bag on his back. And he seems like he's fashioned himself some sort of walking stick, like a gnarled wooden walking stick. And he's walking towards you and goes, well, I'm glad I ran into y'all here. I'm gonna be heading out of town for a little bit. And I wanted to ask if maybe you could mind the shop while I'm gone. And I mean, not like it's a real shop, but just keep an eye on the place for me if you don't mind. I know that we talked about the new place y'all have to stay, but you're all welcome to stay there, welcome to crash. I just would like someone to know that it's being watched while I'm my way.
Where are you headed?
We just got all this method to try and fix your busted busted knee.
Oh, that's wow, that's amazing. I wish I could stay to get that taken care of. I'd be happy to get it done when I come back. I'll probably only be gone a couple days, but I just have some things to attend to outside of town. And
where you headed to, Luthor?
I just have some stuff to take care of. To be honest, I would appreciate if you respect my privacy on this. I understand that, I have shared a lot with you, but I got something I need to take care of, a little bit more personal.
All right, well, it's all right. Just wanted to know where you might be if you with the busted knee. If you don't come back, where we might need to go looking.
It's gonna take more than a busted knee to keep me from coming back. Yeah, I do appreciate the concern, though. I feel like if you need to, like I said, I'll be back. Don't you worry.
All right.
So just I'll see you.
It's your life. We just wanted to make sure you're safe and do as you will. We'll see you in a few days.
I can still swing this thing as good as I ever could. So don't you worry. It's one of the benefits of being an immortal pile of junk.
Well,
it's one way to put it, my friend. Safest of travels, and we'll see you back at the Hall of Legends.
Yeah, he kind of just he kind of pats Rangram on the back and just essentially just thank you for offering to fix the knee. That's gives me something to look forward to when I come back. It's been pretty difficult, so nice to know this will be the last journey with this fucking peg leg.
You're welcome, Luthor. I'm sure Madge has done a lot of work on you. I think we could possibly have at least part of your knee up and running before you even get back, and then we just go I don't know how she really does that. Imagine it's like we plug some things in or something, but we'll figure it out.
Yes, yeah, to be honest, she knows more than I do. So, what was that, Cosmo? I thought I heard you were gonna say something.
Nope, nothing from me. Just enjoying me mead. We'll travel safe. We'll see you back soon.
And he kind of just tightens his his arm on his I guess his one strap that he has over his shoulder for the pack, and he kind of clumps away down the stairs and out towards the edge of town.
Like shortly after he leaves, Glenn would look back to the table and be, boys, I think we now's a good time to go check out that chest we might have, theorized was his.
Well,
there was
some
communications that he might have been the Tattered Lord. Now would be a great time to maybe do some investigating if he's not there.
Well, I was gonna say
very quietly.
I reckon I don't know if it would be wise to follow him or something.
Do we want to miss our meeting with Brongrim? I feel like he's heading out of town, not necessarily running a quick errand.
I don't want to stand up Mr. Boulderfist, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. We have Jorro and the people on down below to look after, but a lot of suspicious things that tell us that Mr. Luthor might be the Tattered Lord.
Well, I got an idea. There's a lot of fine folk here in this tavern. Maybe someone's looking for a job. Maybe someone wants to maybe do some following for us. I would feel terrible leaving our friend Jorro and the people down there unaccompanied for the promise that we made. Maybe we see if some of the fine fellows here feels like picking up some gold.
Well, that's a big trust on somebody we don't know at such short notice. To hopefully see if they pass on true information. But
well, I mean, there's a couple things that could happen, right? They get caught by Luthor, he cuts them in half. We don't have to spend the gold. He comes back with fake information. It's a lie. I cut them in half. We get the gold back. They tell us the truth. We lose a couple gold. What could go wrong?
I can think of a lot of things, actually.
Was it? Well, I feel like 2/3 of those situations end poorly. So my vote is no.
Rangrim, what are your thoughts? You've known him longer than us. You think we need to keep an eye on him or let him do his thing?
I mean, I don't know him that. I don't know many people here that well, but as far as I know him, I mean, Luthor's been nothing but a honorable man as quite as he is. He's well respected, and Madge trusts him, and that's enough for me.
Does he leave town often?
Quite often. That's why he's always going off on some foolhardy errand and coming back with some bits of him missing, and Madge is always fixing him and doing other things. I just help. I have no knowledge of how the hell he works. Madge seems to have a head wrapped around it, but she seems to trust him, and I trust Madge.
I look over to kind of Cosmo and Rangrim, like, I feel like I understand that you guys are a little bit worried that we might, tip our hands. I think we need to go find out what's in that chest, but I don't want him going alone. I can send Poe after him and might be able to put a little bit of a bounty, but we'd have to do this pretty hush hush. We can't.
Right, if anybody caught wind that a couple of fellas like ourselves is putting a track on Luthor, we wouldn't want to draw any negative attention to us.
Yeah, that'd turn a lot of energy our way that we're probably not looking to interact with.
Break a lot of trust that we built with Luthor, and right now we're on his inner circle, even if he is the Tattered Lord.
So the only thing I could do personally is I can send Poe after him, but after 100 feet, I lose him. I can keep
waste
Poe out there.
Don't waste
for
Poe's
about a
energy.
week.
Yeah, don't waste your energy.
All right, I say we hit the hall. We need to see what's in that chest. There's too much going on with Luthor and his leaving town.
We let him go this time, I think, and maybe when it's a more opportune time, we'll have one. Maybe we'll make another ally that we can send as a follow.
Sounds good. While he does that, or while we like kind of stand up and start heading over to the hall,
what time is
Glenn
it?
sends Poe
It's like 5 o'clock.
just to see the direction that he leaves town. If it's like north, south, like what trail he heads out of town on.
Yeah, he seems to be heading out. So if you're looking at the map of Tin Town, he would be heading out of this right-hand path here.
Okay, past 2. Okay.
Yep. So heading out towards essentially just down the opposite direction that you guys went last time.
Okay. And did he make any stops on his way out of town?
No. Just seems like he trucks pretty much straight along. Making pretty slow progress, but he's just heading right out.
And once it's out of 100, or once Poe's out of like 100 feet, kind of like bamf him back.
So okay, so headed out of Tin Town.
Yes.
As far as like the continent map, he's headed. He's headed south.
So we're at location 14
right
on the continent map, this is not very good audio for anyone listening audibly after I edit this, but probably heading south from there, I would say. Yeah, I think that south, north, south, east, north, southeast.
So he's headed southeast out of Tin Town.
Yep.
Okay.
Kind of towards the water, the river that runs there, and the Evan Ridge.
Okay. We start making our way over to the Hall of Heroes.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So by the time that you're able to get over to the to the Luthor's Legends building, like I said, it's around like just after 5, and the door is not locked when you try it. It's unlocked, and you notice that, like, I think you noticed it last time too, but the inside has been like pretty like well maintained now. A lot more, it's been cleaned up. There's lanterns lit. There are it seems very warm and inviting, which was not your first impression of this place when you first came here. And yeah, that's kind of what you're seeing.
I started looking for that chest like the second we walk in.
So it's the chest. So again, I'll explain the inside of Luthor's Legends place. So it's essentially a banquet hall, a big, giant, long building banquet hall with a raised dais at this one side where there would be like a small table looking down onto the group. And then above that raised table, there's a coat of arms with the hidden lever to get you down into the sanctum that is below this. So the chest is essentially, when you walk in the door, you're looking straight down the table. And so just to the right-hand side of that table against the wall you see that chest that you saw Luthor pull a very old healing potion out of last time and toss it to Rangrim the first time you were here.
So I look for that large tablet with like the intricate labyrinth engraving on the bottom.
So, you go to open the chest, and the chest has a pretty thick iron padlock on it.
Ah, okay. You mended my lockpicks, right? Did you give those back to me? Tight.
Yes.
Okay. As all rogues do, I first check for traps, check to see if I notice any wires associated with the lock, anything that looks somewhat suspicious from a mechanical standpoint.
Okay. Roll an investigation.
Ooh. 17 plus 22.
You do not see anything that is tangible that's any kind of trap or marking upon this lock.
And I look over to Rangrim and say, Rangrim, wish me luck, bud. You're muted. Rangrim, you're muted.
Rangrim,
Push the
That was
button.
just for added effect to not give you guidance. I'm just kidding. I'm going to give him guidance.
You doing a sleight of hand to unlock it?
Good luck.
Do you hit me with a hot dog?
Oh, no, I don't have any more hot dogs. To your
Perfect. To your knowledge.
That was a shame.
Insight check first. Just kidding.
Nice.
I do sleight of hand, and that, my friend, is another nat 20.
Fuck.
That's 2 nat 20s on sleight of hand. I'm going to do the guidance just see if I get another 30. 29.
Okay. Because of that awesome roll, you and just the fact that you've been around the world and you know things, as an elf, you've seen a lot of things.
Seen some shit.
Yeah. When you unlock the lock, and it's extremely easy, like you're actually surprised with how easy the lock is. As soon as you unlock that lock and the chest cracks open, you feel like something magical just kind of past you, just kind of over your shoulder, and you just feel like the slightest bit of your hair kind of move, and you kind of feel like it just whips right out the door.
As that happens, I look to the boys and be like, Luthor might know we've been here.
Why would he know that?
What did you do?
I mean, it's not so much that I did anything, it's more that I didn't correctly not do something.
Well, the deed is done, right?
The chest is open.
That's true. We can only really ask for forgiveness, not for permission. And I open the chest.
Inside the chest, you see a bunch of stuff. There's old, rusty weapons, and like I said, just old kind of healing potions that have darkened over the years and are kind of more brown than red at this point. And there's clothing and stuff, but it's all very dusty and rusty. It doesn't seem like this thing's really been gone through in quite a long time.
As I'm kind of pulling items out, do I notice any like scrolls or any like writings, any like photos or drawings?
Not right now. You're seeing mostly just detritus, similar to like
kind of what it was before.
Yep, exactly. Okay. When you start getting to you get to the bottom of the chest pretty quickly. It wasn't fully filled; it was probably like halfway. So you're pulling out like old clothes that are way out of date and a bunch of crazy shit out of there, and piece of rusted armor, and you get to the bottom, and it's just a wooden bottom of the chest.
I like the fact that it's out of date clothing. It's like 80s neon.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fringe.
He hasn't worn clothes in a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's I hit just like pretty quickly hit the bottom of it. Upon looking at it and kind of, having sneakily shared a lot of content and moved a lot of items without hoping for prying eyes, do I recognize that maybe this isn't as deep as it's supposed to be? Like maybe the chest is like 2 feet deep, but I only feel like I'm getting like a foot and a half down. Like there might be like a false bottom or something, or like false sides.
Yeah. So when you're looking at it, especially because you're going into it looking for this already, you kind of look at inside the chest and you kind of look down to the side and you see that you shouldn't be already at the bottom of the chest.
I start to like kind of feel along the edges for, if there's like a pull or like a drawstring or like a loop.
Yeah. So you kind of find there's a knot in the wood that you kind of like, as you're passing your hand over it, you feel it kind of shift down just a little bit. And as you kind of click down on that thing, you feel that it kind of is able to be, it's essentially like, feels like it comes free a little bit. And you feel like something clunk, and you're able to lift that false bottom up. And underneath it, you see, other than a lot of dust, you see a hockey puck sized disc that has a rune emblazoned in the top of it in a language that you can understand. This thing itself seems to be like almost like the whitest white, like silver that you've seen, almost like a platinum. It's very, very bright colored, and it doesn't seem to have been like it hasn't oxidized. It seems just as clean. Other than the dust in it, it doesn't seem like it's oxidized like silver or anything like that. And then on the bottom of it, I don't know if you're touching it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Well, no,
you die. Actually, you die. So
I would definitely mage hand pull that out because that's the thing for my vision ultimately.
Yes, and that's the thing. So you see this thing, and when you flip it over, it does have the labyrinthium embossing engravings in the bottom of it that go in about half an inch and make this intricate geometric pattern of all these different markings that seem to be some sort of it's just a pattern of some sort, but it goes in about half an inch. And next to that, you see a picture frame that is completely covered in dust. You almost don't even see it because it's just like it's a thin picture frame that is just completely caked in dust.
I hold with like my mage hand. I kind of like I turn it or invisible again, and I'm kind of like spinning it in the air, the item in the air in front of the guys. Say, guys, I think Luthor might be hiding some information from us. Not necessarily sure he might be the Tattered Lord, but this doesn't seem like something you just kind of keep around the house. And I like show them the crazy embossing on the bottom. Do you guys recognize any of these runes?
What languages do you all speak?
Dwarvish and Common.
Okay.
So it'd be more for Mr. Rangrim over there.
I have common Dwarvish, deep speech, and undercommon.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say that deep speech is probably closest. You get it. It's not, you don't understand it, but this rune, if you were to associate it with anything closest to what you've seen, deep speech is probably close, but it's also very much off. But it's of the age more of something like that.
I put the hockey puck kind of just on the table next to us, like close but on the table. And then I, with my mage hand again, pick up the super dusty photograph, and I kind of like hold it up and I dust it off with my hand, and I like look at the photo.
So on the photo, are you all looking at it?
I would show it to the group, yeah. Like I wouldn't be like hiding it. I would kind of display it.
So as you wipe the dust off of it, you see what you see is it's very similar to that other in the way it's composed to that other photograph that you saw, except for the fact that this one seems newer. The paint and seems fresher on it. Like the colors are more vibrant, and you see a Warforged Luthor standing in the middle, kind of towering over this group of 6 dwarves. And Cosmo, you recognize your dad in this group of dwarves.
Dang.
And they all seem to be friendly. They're all kind of hands on each other's shoulders, and they seem to be having like a really good time. They're all cheesing it into the, out of the frame. But that's what you see.
So it's a picture of dwarves. Do I recognize, is Boulder Fist in there? Brongrim?
You do not see Brongrim in there.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
How many dwarves was it?
It's 6 total. It's kind of 3 on 3 on each side of. It's very symmetrical, like the other one.
Do I notice the logo, the LL, like on any of their gear?
No, and I don't. Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been like any gear that's with the Luthor's Legends like brand, and I think I kind of retconned it after the beginning of being more of like a coat of arms that's up there instead of like an LL like brand to make it cheesy. But no, you don't see anything like that. They all seem to be they're all wearing like mining gear, and they all seem to, but they all at the same time, like I think that Cosmo, and actually I think Rangrim probably would recognize it more, but these seem like very much like gear of like tunnel fighters, people that are fighting down below the ground.
Right.
And this is, I mean, you would have recognized your dad, like this was his day-to-day gear that he would go to work in.
It wasn't anything abnormal that.
No,
I mean?
this is what your dad looked like. It was, it's not like straight up like mining, but it's more of like they would go down, and if shit broke bad, they were there to help they were more heavily armored than a normal miner.
Right, yeah. As the former paladin, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, and you actually see that your war pick that you're using right now in the photo on your dad's back.
Dope.
That's gnarly. Glenn looks at Cosmo. This kind of looks like what you're rocking right now. Is that someone you know?
That's me dad. Yep. I knew he was me dad was quite the hero in this town. But I don't know that I knew he spent so much time with Luthor.
Is this in a picture? This is like framed, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a painting. I mean, I'm just saying that all pictures are paintings, but it's a painting. It's probably like size. And then it has a frame.
Is anything written on the back?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm full of them.
I will say that I don't know how to say what year it is, but I will say that I like the idea of it having an LL on it and then having a date of maybe some shit. What do we I need to ask Bobby, what did we figure out again for the timeline of your father's death? Was it
I feel like we decided it was at least probably 30 years ago.
Was that what it was? Okay. I knew it was like he had been in the town long enough to make it anyway. Yeah.
Because we left Nuarta shortly after the Sundering and arriving in Tin Town and kind of stopping to make home. And so I think he naturally, even just from his fighter just whatever. Anyways, he quickly became a person of character.
Yeah, so I'll say that this date is some 40 years before.
Okay.
It says LL and then it says some 40 years before. And to catch Dan up, I don't know if you I think you missed it a little bit. They pulled a frame out of the bottom of the drawer, and it was Luthor along with six dwarves, and Cosmo's father was among them, with that war pick that Cosmo uses now on his back. And on the back of the frame, it says LL, and it has some 40 years before, which Cosmo's father died 30 years ago.
I think we have some questions for Luthor when he comes back, but I don't want to miss that meeting. But do you want to hold on to this?
Yeah, you can see the sun is getting kind of low in the sky now. Sky is getting twilight.
You want to hold on to this, Cosmo? And I extend the painting towards him.
Well, while I have never seen that picture before, and it would be great to have, I reckon taking that disc thing is probably plenty, and Luthor might want to have that.
Sounds good. I put the painting back, put the false bottom back, put all the stuff in it, but I pocket the disc. And
Okay.
I looked at Cosmo and Rangram like, anyone outside this room does not need to know we have this, right?
Right.
Who outside this room would know we have it?
Perfect. You're already on it. Let's go see if Brongrim's got some fun information for us.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're able to easily make your way over to the Boulder Fist Mining Company, essentially their compound, and without much effort, you're able to reach the front door with the two guards who are standing outside of it.
Well, friends, maybe it's time we all three see what Mr. Borderfist has to say after speaking with council. Would you like to all join me?
Yep.
I looked to Rangram. Rangram, my name's Bareth, right?
Wasn't that guy that kept peeing his pants?
No. Remember, sure, that could be me. That's fine too. Bareth.
You peed your pants.
Well, you see, Rangrim, Glenn didn't want to give away his name too quickly to a dwarf, And so he pretended to be somebody who pees his pants.
Misdirection.
He's misdirecting. Yep,
Mhm.
yep. That's it's a mind game. It's a mind game.
Ambiguity.
Right. Deception.
And that word of the day, toilet paper, is doing wonders for Rangrim.
That
I am
word-
amazed you didn't only learn a word, you are applying it correctly to a situation.
The
That is
word of the day
amazing.
from the hot dogs.
He did. He learned 8 new words because he had 8 hot dogs.
You guys are on to me. That's my character. That's my whole character arc now.
That's so fucking good.
His
Collect-
intelligence
gotta collect them
gonna be
all.
higher than Glenn's just because he's had so many hot dogs.
So many hot
If you
dogs.
eat a lot of hot dogs, you actually just gain intelligence points like crazy.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
you guys want to go inside?
They're just plus ones. Plus
Yes.
ones. Yeah.
Yes.
inside.
Let's. I'm sorry.
you're good.
We're all
You're good.
going. We're all going inside.
Yeah.
All going inside. Okay.
Awesome.
Gareth
the
will join you.
the guards they clearly know that you're expected, and
we-
so they kind of open the door as you're approaching, and you're able to see down the hallway. You see what looks like Brongrin sitting at his desk on the far side of the hallway, and as you walk in, like I said, it's like old dwarven temple-ish, big columns, very and kind of like darkly lit with just like torches all the way down, and then more torches around the end with a kind of like lavish carpet going down to a pretty big table at the end that last time you saw it was covered in food. This time it doesn't seem to be covered in food, just seems to be it's just covered in papers and whatever else, and rocks and other things that mining heads of a mining company would have on their desk. But
Is it just Brongrim in the room?
yep, it looks like just one figure sitting kind of sitting at the end of the like just in the center of the table, kind of looking straight ahead. And as you go in, like the door kind of shuts behind you.
Okay. Well, Brongrim, Mr. Boulderfist, it's Cosmo and friends.
You get no response. And are you just walking forward? How far are you? How close are you? Like, there's probably only about 40 feet from the door to, or 30 feet from the door to his actual desk.
I say it a little louder. Mr. Boulderfist.
You get no response.
Uh,
BK, you're muted.
Sorry, I start like looking around as like the voice kind of echoes, and like I'm kind of like keeping an eye out for any shifting shadows or moving bodies, moving entities as we kind of walk closer and closer.
How close are you at this point?
I'm letting Cosmo lead, so I'm one step behind Cosmo.
At this point, I would say if he was 40 feet, we're at 30 feet.
Okay. So are you just continuing to walk forward?
And then I kind of turn to the guys and I say, something doesn't feel right. What do you think? Should I just move on in and see if he's asleep?
Attention. Some other way.
Hold on. Hold, please. I got a spell. Maybe I don't have a spell. I don't think I have a spell.
I look at Rangrim, I give him a very nervous look that's kind of like, this does not seem like a casual meeting. And I cast Mage Hands, and I extend it. I think it can go like 10 feet from me. Sorry. Should know this. 30 feet from me. Perfect.
Yep, use your finger to go poke him.
And he's facing us, or is he?
Yeah, he's kind of silhouetted with the light that's behind him because it's more well lit over there. So you can essentially see a kind of darkened, like the light behind him is silhouetting this form in front of looking straight down the hallway. So you can see his silhouette.
So what I'll do is I'll move to 20 feet as the mage hand moves up.
And I kind of give him a shake. So, Brongrim, you okay?
And I
can move 10 pounds of force. So like I give him like a light shake.
The shaking, the body moves, but it doesn't. So you, Cosmo, you would see the body move, but you don't see any movement beside that. Cosmo, when you get to 20 feet, you can see that there is blood running down his face, and there seems to be something protruding from his eye socket.
I move all the way up.
The second
Glenn
that you
Glenn pulls his weapon the second he like axe slumped.
I just start running.
Double-bladed scimitar.
Okay, well, when you get as soon as you start moving, in like a manner of like going forward, you see a form appear from behind Brongrin, and it just lets their hand drop, and you just see the head fall onto the table with a thump. The form that showed up behind Brongrin is, I would just associate it with dwarven in height and stature, pretty like not as stout and like thick as Rangrim or I guess more like I pictured Cosmo being a little bit more of a leaner build than Rangrim, just because he's younger, and so like more I guess of your build. And they are wearing this like similar to like Glenn's black leather like outfit with like this black painted black or whatever plate and armor, but it's all black with black leather, and then on their face, covering their entire face, and they're other than this like long white hair that's coming down from the back, is a mask that's red, and it has this like these kind of like parts that come down like this, almost like when you see like a cartoon skull, how it has the teeth, but it's completely red, and in the center of the head right here is a carved eye, and you can just see two small eye sockets. And what's up?
No, go ahead.
No, what do you do when you see
as I'm running and I see the head slump forward? I literally pull my war pickaxe out and I go running in to swing at it.
As you swing at that, they disappear from in front of you, and they with just like they turn into mist. Not as you hit them, but they essentially like what you would recognize as some sort of teleportation magic. They disappear, and your weapon goes right through, and they are gone.
Okay. I immediately turn to Brongrim, and I yell down to Rangrim, "Rangrim, I need you!" And I kind of like lay him out, and I check for a pulse.
Well, if they weren't dead already from the pretty large dagger that was through their eye, and when they fell forward, that dagger came right out the back of their head.
Oh.
You know what? I think that this is a great time to leave it. I think we should pick it up here next session.
Okay.
I think that this is a good time to pick it up, because I think that we have some. I think that
I want to kill the Fang.
You all find yourself in a situation that is going to be a lot of fun to figure out next week.
Goddamn hot dogs.
Goddamn hot dogs.
Fuck me. That did not go at all how I thought that would pan out.
No.
Ah, shucks.